Long ago, before humans ever left their planet, an ancient alien race called the Valeri ruled many parts of the galaxy. They were wise, peaceful, and known for their deep knowledge of time, space, and the future. The Valeri were not warriors, but thinkers. They had special technology that could see possible futures paths that were not yet real, but could one day happen. One day, a group of Valeri elders gathered around a glowing pool of light. They saw a future that scared them. In this vision, a new species would rise from a small blue planet. This species would grow fast, build fast, and fight harder than any others. They would not be the biggest or the strongest, but they would never give up. That species was humanity. The Valeri warned the Galactic Council, the leaders of all major alien civilizations. But the other species did not listen. They laughed. A new race from a single planet. How can they be a threat? The warnings became old stories, told only in temples and libraries. As centuries passed, most people forgot. Only a few old Valeries still remembered. Now, in the present time, humans have entered space. Their ships are small. Their weapons are old compared to the great empires. They are new to the galaxy. Some aliens think humans are weak. Some call them primitive. But one Valeri elder, named Theranos, watches carefully. Theranos is very old. His eyes are cloudy, and his hands shake. But his mind is sharp. He remembers the vision clearly every day. He reads human news. He watches Earth's progress. He sees their space stations, their science, and their speed. They are learning to fast, he whispers. The Galactic Council sits in a tall silver tower on the planet Velkara. Alien leaders from many worlds meet here. They wear fine robes and speak with pride. Theranos stands before them, holding an old scroll. He speaks slowly. The humans are growing, he says. They adapt, they improve. Soon they will not be behind. They will be ahead. A tall insect-like alien laughs. Elder Theranos, humans are nothing. Let them play with their small ships. A redskin warrior shouts. They have no empire, no fleets, no threat. But Theranos doesn't argue. He simply nods. You do not see what I see. You do not feel the winds changing. He leaves the chamber. No one follows him. Back on Earth, humans launch a new ship called the Horizon Dawn. It is small, but fast and smart. It can scan far into deep space. A group of young human scientists cheer as the ship leaves orbit. They do not know that they are being watched far across the stars. An old mining colony is attacked. The attackers are a cruel group of space raiders, known for stealing resources and killing anyone who stands in their way. The colony belongs to a small council race, and they send out a cry for help. No one responds. The council says they are too far. They do not wish to waste fuel or time. It is not a major world. They say, let it go. But someone does. Hear the message, Earth. The humans send a small rescue team, only 3 ships. The alien miners laugh when they see the tiny fleet. What can you do? But the humans are not afraid. They study the raiders. They set traps. They use smart moves. In one night, the human ships chase away the entire raider fleet. The miners cheer. They bow. You saved us. The human captain only says, we did what was right. News spreads across the galaxy. Humans saved the colony. Humans defeated raiders. Some say it was luck. Some say it was skill. But all agree, humans are not as weak as they look. Back in the Silver Tower, the council hears the news. Some members grow quiet. Others get angry. This is a trick, they say. They must have cheated. Theranos says nothing. He only looks out the window and watches the stars in his room. He lights a single candle and opens the old scroll again. The glowing letters shift and shine. He sees the image once more, a world in flames, a fleet of human ships in the sky, and a single sentence in the ancient tongue. The fire you ignore will become the sun that burns your world. He whispers to himself, the storm is coming. The stars were quiet for a few days after the human rescue mission. The small mining colony, once forgotten, now praised Earth. News of the event spread slowly, reaching outer systems and distant space stations. Most alien leaders still ignored it, but a few began to whisper. Humans chased away raiders with just 3 ships, some believed. Most didn't. They said it was luck. They said the raiders were weak. They said the story was told wrong. But Elder Theranos knew it was true. He sat in his silent chamber, eyes closed, breathing slowly. The first spark, he whispered. The fire has started. In the Galactic Council Tower, the news became a joke. Leaders from powerful species laughed over glasses of glowing drinks. A fluke. Said the Zarkan warlord. Let them enjoy their little moment. Said a tall creature with long silver fur. They will break when real war comes. But deep in space, something else was happening. A human outpost on a moon called Titan Reach had picked up a strange signal. It was not from Earth. It was not from any known council race. The signal was full of static, but one word kept repeating. Help! Captain Elena Cross, leader of the outpost, listened carefully. Her team decoded the signal. It came from a broken transport ship drifting near a dead star. They sent drones to look. The drones showed a ship under attack. Strange ships, unknown design. We're cutting into it like vultures. The transport ship flew the flag of a small, peaceful race. The Yulin, who had no army. Elena had no orders. No, one told her to act, but she made a decision. We go now. 5 small human ships left the moon base. They didn't wait for permission. They didn't ask for backup. When they reached the battle, the unknown attackers turned toward them. They fired without warning. But the humans were ready. They moved fast. They dodged every shot. They used smart missiles that followed enemy heat. They used drones that jammed enemy systems. They fought like no other race had seen before. In 15 minutes, the enemy ships were gone. No human ship was lost. The Yulin captain sent a message. You are not like the others. You protect, Captain Elena replied. That's what we do. Back on Earth, the event made headlines. People cheered. The council grew quiet. A few alien commanders studied the footage. One of them, a blue-skinned tactician named Vork, didn't laugh. He watched the human maneuvers again and again. They fight with purpose, he said. They learn. At the next council meeting, Theranos stood once more. The spark has grown, he said. Now comes the win. A few younger members. Listen this time. One raised his hand and asked, should we meet with the humans? But the old warlords laughed. No. If they act like heroes, let them play. We are still stronger. Meanwhile, in secret, human scientists were working. They took broken parts from the enemy ships and studied them. They asked, who were they? What did they want? Are they coming back? Earth's space program started to change. Shipbuilders worked faster. AI systems were improved. Defense systems were placed in far moons and asteroids. Earth didn't wait for the next threat. They prepared. A young scientist named Ravi Malik looked at the data. He found a pattern. These attackers, they are scouts, he said. There's more out there. He was right. In a dark part of the galaxy, a new force was rising. The ships had no names. The species had no voice. They took what they wanted and destroyed what they couldn't take. They were heading toward Council Space and Earth was in their path. But Earth was watching. They didn't sleep. They didn't slow down. In the Valeri Temple, Theranos stood before the star pool again. He touched the water. A vision appeared. A sky full of human ships, glowing with light, standing between the darkness and the rest of the galaxy. He smiled. The council laughs, he said. But soon, they will come asking for help, and only one species will stand between life and death. He walked to the tower window and looked out at the stars. They called them weak. They called them new. But the humans, they are unstoppable. The Galactic Council sat in their grand chamber. Tall walls of silver and glass surrounded them. Giant banners from every major alien empire hung above the round table. The leaders sat proudly on their floating chairs, speaking with loud voices. They think they are special, said the Zarkan warlord, shaking his heavy head. Saving a few colonies doesn't make them powerful, said a counselor from the Vernari species. Only a few council members looked worried. Most still believed humans were small and unimportant. Their ships were fewer. Their worlds were fewer. They believed humans could never match the mighty empires of the galaxy. But Elder Theranos sat quietly in the shadows. He did not argue. He had seen this future. He had warned them again and again. But the council laughed. Far away, in deep space, humans were not laughing. They were working. Earth scientists had discovered something dangerous. The attackers, from before, were part of a larger force. They came from a silent area of the galaxy, with no light and no life signals. No one had ever gone there before. Humans called it the Dark Veil. Ships disappeared near the veil. Probes returned, only silence. But humans did not stop. They sent more probes. They watched. They learned. And what they found was a fleet unlike any other. Thousands of black ships, shaped like knives, moving together with no sound, no signal, no face. Human leaders knew they had little time. Earth called every nation together. No more borders, no more delays. They shared data, shared plans, and started building, quietly, fast, and with purpose. They called the Project Shield Light, a defense network of satellites, hidden bases, stealth ships, and powerful railguns. The galaxy didn't know it yet, but Earth was becoming a fortress. Back in the council chamber, more reports arrived. A merchant fleet went missing near the edge of council space. Only floating metal came back. A border colony sent out a last warning. They came without a word. No faces, no mercy. The council blamed pirates, but the truth was growing louder. One young alien ambassador, named Keller, spoke carefully. Maybe the humans are right. Maybe we should talk to them. Work together. The Vernari laughed. Work with them. We are stronger. The insectoid leader hissed. They are just lucky. Then came the moment no one expected. A full council fleet, 50 warships, was sent near the edge of human space. Their goal, to remind Earth of its place, a show of power. They didn't plan to fire, just to scare. But when they arrived, everything changed. The human systems were not empty. They were ready. The council fleet was met by hidden defense stations, large asteroid bases with energy shields. Drones flew silently through the dark, watching every move. Suddenly, every ship in the council fleet lost power. No weapons, no engines, everything shut down. Then, the human flagship appeared. It didn't fire. It didn't attack. It sent a single message. You entered our space without permission. Stand down, or be removed. The council commanders panicked. They tried to restart systems, but nothing worked. They had been trapped in something new, something called a ghost net. An invisible field of AI drones that shut down ships without touching them. One by one, the council ships were pulled back, using human tractor beams. No shots fired, no lives lost, but the message was clear. Earth was not afraid. Earth was ready. The council was embarrassed. News of the defeat spread fast. People across the galaxy began to whisper. Humans disabled 50 warships. Not a single shot. Are they stronger than we thought? Some still refused to believe, but others began to worry. The whispers turned into fear. Theranos stood once more before the council. His voice was calm. You laughed, you ignored, but now they are ahead of you. He raised his hand and showed a new scroll. It glowed with a symbol no one had seen in centuries. This was written by our first elders, he said. It speaks of a race that learns fast, fights harder, and protects even when no one asks. The Zarkan warlord growled. What do you want us to do? Kneel to them. Theranos shook his head. No. But if we are wise, we will stand beside them, before the real enemy arrives. The chamber fell silent. In the skies near Earth, humans kept building. More satellites, more ships, more defenses. Not because they wanted war, but because they knew what was coming, and they would not run. The council armada was massive. Over 100 warships from different empires gathered in dark space near Earth's border. They had come together to stop the humans once and for all. The message was clear. Earth must surrender or be destroyed. The alien leaders believed they held all the power. They thought Earth's defenses were weak and their fleet small. They were wrong. Back on Earth, the humans had waited and prepared. Scientists, engineers, and soldiers worked day and night. Their secret weapons, hidden fleets, and defense stations were ready. Every planet, moon, and asteroid was guarded. They called it the Iron Web. Captain Eleanor Cross stood on the command bridge of the human flagship. Her eyes in dawn, she looked at the huge screen showing the enemy fleet closing in. Her face was calm but focused. "Prepare the ghost nets," she ordered. "Activate stealth drones, ready the railguns." Her crew moved fast. The ship hummed with energy, the quiet before. The battle was tense. When the Council fleet crossed the boundary, the humans waited no longer. Invisible drones flew out like ghosts. They moved silently through the enemy ships, cutting power and communications. Engines sputtered. Weapons froze. The Council commanders tried to fight back. They fired their biggest cannons. But the humans had built strong planetary shields. The shots bounced off harmlessly. The Council ships were trapped in the web of drones. One by one, they lost control. Then, from the dark, human stealth ships appeared. They were small, fast, and deadly, using silent weapons. They disabled enemy engines without destroying the ships. It was a perfect trap. Captain Elena's voice was calm and clear. "Surrender now, or we will remove your ships." The Council commanders had no choice. They ordered their ships to stand down. No one was hurt. The humans showed mercy. They could have destroyed the entire fleet, but they did not. Instead, they sent a message to the entire galaxy. "This is Earth. We do not wish for war, but we will defend ourselves. Any attack on our home will be met with the full strength of humanity. We are unstoppable." Across the stars, the message spread like wildfire. Alien news channels showed the captured ships. They showed human technology and the power of the Iron Web. Many were shocked. Some were scared. The Council met again. This time, they were quiet. They no longer laughed. Elder Theranos stood before them. "You see now," he said. "Humans do not win because they have the biggest fleets. They win because they never stop. They work together. They protect what they love." The Council members looked down. On Earth, celebrations began. People cheered in the streets. They had faced the greatest powers and stood strong. Captain Eleanor looked up at the stars. "This is only the beginning," she said. "We will keep watching. We will keep protecting." She knew the galaxy was changing. Humans had shown their true strength. The elders had warned them. And now, the galaxy would never forget. The Great Hall of the Galactic Council was quieter than ever. Leaders from many races sat in silence, thinking deeply. The hum of the starships outside could be heard faintly through the walls. All eyes turned to the ancient Valeri elder, Theranos. As he rose to speak, he held in his hands a glowing scroll, the oldest record of the Valeri. It was written long ago by their first elders, the ones who had seen the future. The scroll told a story that few had believed until now. Theranos began to speak. "Long ago, we saw a species born on a small blue planet. We saw their future. They would be slow at first, but they would grow fast. They would learn from every challenge. They would protect what they loved with fierce strength." He paused and looked around. "This species is humanity." Many leaders shifted in their seats. Some whispered, some looked away. "We called them the Unstoppable," Theranos said. "Not because of weapons or ships, but because of their spirit, their will, their heart." A council member from the Vernari, her eyes soft with respect, asked, "Why did we not see this before?" Theranos smiled sadly. "Because we wanted to believe we were the strongest. We wanted to ignore warnings. Pride blinded us." He unrolled the scroll and showed a vision of future where humans stood tall. Between darkness and light, where they saved worlds, united races, and brought hope. "We were wrong to doubt them," Theranos said. Outside the hall, news spread fast. Humans and aliens alike heard the elders' words. The truth was out on Earth. Captain Eleanor Cross watched the broadcast. She felt proud not because of the victory, but because of what humans stood for. Humans were not just fighters. They were builders, thinkers, friends. The Galactic Council sent envoys to Earth. They wanted to learn, to join, to stand together. The humans welcomed them. They opened their doors. A new alliance was born. The galaxy was no longer divided by fear or hate. It was united by respect and hope. And so, the Elder's secret was revealed. Humans are unstoppable not because they seek war, but because they never give up, never stop learning, and never stop protecting those they love. The stars shone brighter that night. A new chapter had begun.